What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be going over the biggest Pokemon movers and shakers of the week. It is a TCG Player article written by Corbin Hostler, so shout out the person that wrote that. Starting out with this Morty's Conviction. This is a video just going over some of the craziest price movements, whether it be an upwards direction or a downwards trajectory on TCG Player. Just thought it'd be fun to do like a market check-in. And also, real quick, starting a new little series with today's video, going to be going over the KT card of the day, which is this little unknown V, alternate art unknown from Silver Tempest. Just want to do like a series where I go through some of my collection, some of the cards that I don't necessarily get to showcase in like some of my collection videos, like this guy. So the KT card of the day, this unknown alternate art. Hope you like this series. Comment if you want me to keep doing it. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Anyways, getting back to it, Morty's Conviction, $35.35 for the market price of this guy. It's from Temporal Forces. It's kind of stayed at similar price over the past month. Like it went from a $36 card all the way down to like 33 and up 34. So I don't really know how it made this list, if I'm being honest. But that being said, it is still a really cool card. Temporal Forces is incredible. Some sick hits in there. Hard to pull though, hard to pull, but I love this. I love Morty as a trainer too. It's sick. Moving on to Petron EX here from the newest set, Shrouded Fable. Obviously some competitive viability. It's a gold card. People want to bling out their decks, and that is the reason why this card is moving up in price on the graph, sitting at $22.67. At the beginning of August, it was at like $15. I guess through playability, people wanted more, more of the card. The demand went up. I assume that it's the gold version. People want to bling out their decks. Obviously, get a copy that's easily searchable for, and this Petron's it. Shrouded Fable, there's not a ton of like super duper expensive cards, but a gold card being $22 for a Pokemon like Petron, it's not Charizard, it's not Lugia, it's not Giratina, it's not Greninja, one of those fan favorite Pokemon. It's pretty all right, $22, pretty expensive. If we scroll down a little bit lower, the article takes a look at Pheasantipity and Earthen Vessel, which are also from Shrouded Fable. Pretty expensive cards there as well. Earthen Vessel, this is the most expensive card in the Shrouded Fable set, which is honestly so impressive. Shout out Earthen Vessel. It's obviously huge in competitive play, and it has just grown in price. We're actually going to take a look at this later on in the video. But this Pheasantipity also has some competitive viability to it. This is the alternate art or the special illustration rare, and it's still $60, which is pretty dang good. It is a competitive card. People obviously still want to bling out their decks with this, same way they would with the Earthen Vessel full art gold card. Moving on to Ivysaur from 151, and at its high over the past month, it hit like $24. Now it's sitting at a $22.73 card. So it's kind of lost a little bit on its month value. But if we take a look here at like the end of August, beginning of September, it was sitting at a $19 card, and it's gained like $3-ish, $4, $3.50, $4, which is pretty impressive in the span of a week. $4 in a week, like it doesn't really sound like much because this card isn't super duper uber expensive, but $4 in a week is pretty dang good, and I'm sure that's exactly why it made it onto this article in this list. Looking at Charizard EX, another one from 151, same with that Ivysaur. Sitting at $126 right now. And at the beginning of the month, it was at $124, dipped down to about $118, And then over the past like week or so, it went from 129, like 130 even, which is its high all time, I guess, excluding like pre-release. 130 and has dipped down $5-ish, $4, four and a half, $5, which is a decent bit to drop down. This was the most expensive special illustration rare until the Greninja came around. And it was hovering between like $105 to $125. It was never really, not even 125, like 120. It was never really getting more than like 120. But then last month it broke that, hit like 125, as we see on this graph. And then I guess it broke that even more, hitting 130, but it's come down, which is interesting to see. And I believe that's going to do it for this article, but I wanted to take a look at one written by the same guy, same person, last week. The biggest movers and shakers, might as well go over last week's as well. With this basic metal energy from Shrouded Fable sitting at $19.63. And you can see why this was on this article. This was crazy. August 24th, it was at $10.69. And then by September 4th, it was at $20. Like, that's crazy. It just doubled money in like 10 days, doubled its value in 10 days, which is pretty crazy. Metal energy from Shrouded Fable. Once again, the reason why Shrouded Fable is honestly, I guess, doing so well is just because of the competitive cards. Like this one, the Petron, the Pheasantipity, the Earthen Vessel. Those cards are killing it because of their competitive viability, and this metal energy is no different. Obviously, looking at the Earthen Vessel now, one that we briefly covered for a second a few minutes ago, but over the course of the month, like 8/18, so this would have been like around Worlds, was at $50.23. Its high went up to $66.78, and it's now at $64. That's insane. Over the course of 2 weeks, going from $50 to $66, gaining like $17 in like 10 to 15 days. Really impressive. Really cool to see a gold card like Earthen Vessel, because I guess, it's how it used to be. The competitive cards holding majority of the value in a set before cards really got super duper collectible. I should say modern cards got super duper collectible. And you saw that with like Sun and Moon, X and Y, and even before then. But it's cool, like at least for the 5 years that I've been around, I've not seen a lot of competitive cards hold this much value, so it's pretty neat. This is obviously an option. You can get a cheaper copy of Earthen Vessel, a lot cheaper. It'll do the same thing for your deck. So this is definitely a choice people and players want to make to definitely bling out their decks for sure. But it used to be Cassiopeia, the #1 expensive card from Shrouded Fable. It is no longer that. It is Earthen Vessel. Here we have Temple of Sinnoh, and I'm a huge fan. You see the Murkrow. Wait, check this out. The Murkrow in the illustration right there. Beautiful. I actually love these full art trainer stadium cards. I think they're awesome. I'd love to get a whole binder page just full of them. But over the past month, it went from like $11 at its low, $16 at its high, and now it's at $15.60. So $5-6 increase is pretty gosh darn cool. I know this is only getting play because of competitive. It's only increasing in price because of competitive. But I love these cards for the collectability aspect as well, because, if you played Legends Arceus, you know this. It's awesome. It's sick. Moving on to Mew EX. This is a little bit different than some of the other cards that we've been taking a look at. Mostly all modern, all from Scarlet and Violet era, except for that Temple of Sinnoh, I believe, which was from Astral. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this Mew EX from Legendary Treasures, Black and White's last set from the Radiant Collection. Amazing card. Blue and Mew's Pink is incredible. Like, I do love the shiny Mewtwo where it's blue there as well, but awesome card. Started the month at like $49 and has crept up to $58, putting on $9 in a month. And I honestly see the reason why. Like, this is a super cool card. Getting it near mint nowadays is probably a lot harder than it was, when it came out, like probably close to a decade or even more than a decade ago. It's an older card and it's really cool, fan favorite Pokemon. It makes sense. I have not picked up this card yet. I would love to one day, but right now, who knows? 3 months, it's, still gone up. 6 months, continue to go up. It had an even lower low of $37, which is crazy. And 1 year, it was as low as $34. So I would say now is definitely not the time to buy it, but it's still pretty cool card, pretty cool to see. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the KT card of the day, Unknown. Stay tuned, turn on notifications, all that. I'm going to be going over, I believe, second part of my collection, doing another collection showcase because people really enjoyed that. I'll be doing that next video. And yeah, appreciate you all. Peace.